With the quarterfinals coming up for the men and women's final of Canada versus USA Olympic hockey has been quite the sight so far. I'm your host, Jack Danetz, joined by Jenny Karamus and Christina Rutherford to talk about the latest surrounding hockey and the 2026 Olympics. Christina, what have been your thoughts and takeaways from the Olympic Games so far?
Okay, so my first point is actually not going to be related to just hockey at the moment. So have you guys listened to the audios of all of the athletes saying their names?
Yes.
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 It's some of them where they
pastime.
say it really fast or they say it really slow or they say it with a question
Like
mark.
a question.
Like, do I know my own name? Okay, but other than that, like, for back to hockey now. Things I do know, trust me. So this is our first time with NHL players since 2014, and we have the USA, Sweden, and Canada with full rosters of all NHL players. Finland, all but one player is in the NHL, and Italy, 0.
None.
But I mean, they're not making it that far, Italy,
No.
probably. So it doesn't matter.
They're
anyways.
hosting. That's enough of a win for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think the NHL players being back has really just been the biggest thing for the Olympics. It's upped just the play so much. It's upped all of the hype. I do want to shout out, though, one of my takeaways. I want to shout out Team Czechia in the women's tournament. They tried their best. They're actually the only team that scored against Team USA in the preliminaries. So I think that's great for them. They're not continuing, unfortunately, but I'm just a fan of Czechia. I've really loved watching them. I was really happy for their one goal.
Again, I'm excited for the Canada versus USA men's Four Nations rematch. I mean, who knows? We could see another fight in 30 seconds of the game. But Jenny, I want to take it to you. The women's teams just finished the semifinals. What can we see through the teams going forward and going into the finals?
USA all the way.
I have to agree.
They are just dominant. Even their usual competition, the women's hockey scene has always been Canada, US. They have always been the main ones. It's kind of always been, who's going to come in bronze? But this year, US has just dominated, even Canada. They crushed them 5-0 in the preliminary round. And they crushed them just as much when they played in the rivalry series a couple months ago. They scored, one of the games was 10-2. That's the first time either of them has ever scored that much against one another. So I think it is just going to be USA. They obviously won their game today. Canada did as well, so they're set for the gold medal match. That is going to be such a great game, but it's going to be very one-sided once again.
Yeah, I have to agree. When it comes to our final of USA and Canada, right now it seems like there's a clear winner in the US. They've already beat Canada once in the Olympics. They haven't let a single team score in the Olympics in 16 periods against them so far. And Canada, when they were playing Switzerland today, their 2 goals, some of them were, it kind of seemed like it was just a lucky shot sometimes.
It was a much closer game than it really should have been.
It was closer than everyone thought, because it was 2-1 and Switzerland got a goal, and everyone was like, oh, wow, this is way closer, because Switzerland also didn't have as many shots as Canada today, and it was interesting, to say the least.
It definitely was.
Yeah.
I think that bronze medal game is going to be interesting, because going in before Canada and Switzerland played each other, I was like, pretty much, it's probably going to be Sweden. After how they handled Canada, I think that bronze medal game, it's a little earlier. I think it's till 9 a.m., but I think I'm going to get up. I'm going to watch that one. That is going to be a good one.
I think the bronze medal one will be quite interesting, and I actually don't know who's going to win, whether it'll be Switzerland or Sweden. So, yeah.
I've definitely been tuning in to these games during my classes, I will admit that. And I'm very excited to see how the tournament goes on for the women's teams. But Christina, I want to move on to the men's tournament real quick. I think all three of us can agree Canada's looking like the best team right now in the men's tournament. Mm-hmm. How do teams like Team USA and the rest of the teams in the tournament keep up with Canada's high-powered offense?
I got no idea for you. I mean, it's Canada, and they're doing great. I mean, they have Sidney Crosby, they have Macklin Celebrini, they've got, one of the youngest and the oldest players in the NHL on their team. I don't really know how they're going to compete against this. I mean, 19-year-old Celebrini got the first goal for Canada in the Olympics. Yeah. And then he had his penalty shot in the other game, which he scored. And I just don't think there's really a way. I don't know if there's a way to beat Canada.
I have to agree with you. I feel like they don't. They really need to, if they want any hope, one, they need to stay out of the penalty box. Yeah. That power play, that first unit should not be allowed. That is insane. That is utterly terrifying to me. I feel like if I got a penalty, I'd go down the bench. I would just keep walking. I'd be like, I'm not even gonna watch this.
I mean, we had a Gordie Howe hat trick technically
Tom Wilson.
because Tom Wilson did get a penalty for fighting.
He did.
So we've had that. It's the first one ever in Olympic history, as far as I'm aware.
Probably because they're not allowed to like
they're not allowed to
fully
fight. So I thought of it as like it was kind of like college hockey because college
Exactly.
hockey you can't fight, and I was like,
Still,
I feel like I'm
half
just in Pagula right now
And of all
watching
people
hockey.
who do it, of course it's Tom
Of
Wilson.
course it's Tom.
Of course
He
it's Tom
said,
Wilson.
"You don't touch
It was
my
top line Tom, not anymore.
Exactly.
But it was top
Exactly.
line
He
Tom.
said, "You don't touch my star players. Leave them alone."
Exactly. And I think that is what makes Canada even more of a nightmare, frankly, to play against. Because not only do they have the skill and the talent, they're gritty, they're physical. Like, they are not shying away. So I think while teams that are playing them need to put the pressure on, need to not shy away from being physical, I don't even know how much that is going to do to help them out. Because Canada has so many physical, gritty guys.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know because even then, they've got with their star players that lineup that they did the other game, which I don't know why they waited so long to do, of Celebrini, McDavid, and McKinnon. If I'm saying his name right, I did it. That lineup, they waited so long to play it, and it was such a good lineup, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, they are unstoppable now with this lineup."
But I agree with both of your points. Canada has a very high power offense, and I think the only team that can actually compete with them is, like I said, the U.S. I mean, we could be getting, like I said earlier, a Four Nations rematch. But I have to say, watching the U.S. games, the team starts off sluggish. And with a roster like this, you cannot start off sluggish. They'll start sluggish, and then they'll have a spark under them in the end of the game, which with guys like Celebrini, McKinnon, and McDavid, you cannot be sluggish at the beginning. They will find an opening, especially we've seen how good Celebrini's been in the tournament. He will find an opening, and he will take that shot and forget it. We've seen what they've been doing to teams, outscoring them. I mean, they've been putting up, it's been 10-2, 11-2. Listen, the USA has a solid roster as well. The Hughes brothers, the Chuck brothers, Gensel, and 3 of the best goalies in the world.
Don't forget about Quinn Hughes and his
Quinn
ghosts.
Hughes and his ghosts as well. I forgot to mention that. But they need to keep up with this roster if they want to come out of it. But the men's quarterfinals starts this week, and the women's finals are Thursday, February 19th. Be sure to tune in to keep up with the latest in Olympic hockey. From Jenny Karamus, Christina Rutherford, and the rest of the Penn State Sports Night crew, I'm your host, Jack Danetz. Thank you for tuning in to this segment of Penn State Sports Night.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For more content like this, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a like, and follow our socials down below.
And as always, we are
Penn State Sports Night.